So, yeah, what do websites need? So, oh no, well, it looked great on my computer on the different formats here. Every website needs good photography, good marketing, and good web design. So for my specific website, I made a bunch of different versions of me to kind of illustrate the point. So yeah, I'll hop into it here. So on the photography section, they're the first impression of everyone's website. You know, we don't read anymore. You know, we're reading less and less. Articles are getting shorter. Newspapers aren't as popular. When you're popping open a site and just browse through it, the photographs are the first things you digest. So they're going to be your first impression. And it's not just me who's saying this. There was a survey of all marketers across the board. They did over 5,000 back in 2017 that said images were the most important, and they just kind of got ranked higher since then. So yeah, no matter what site you need, you should have good photography. So I want to kind of show two images right off the bat. You know, in terms of looking at a company, this is one guy that snapped like a selfie real quick right away. It's fun and nice and everything, but this is like, you know, a little bit more polished, kind of has like a professional appearance to it. It's nice to, you know, to be polished. So, the marketing side of websites. This is another really important thing to talk about. A lot of websites will have 6 different paragraphs of text that are all right next to each other. It's not the easiest to digest. So what we want to do is we want to make it easy to digest. We want to make sure it's not the same thing your competitors are selling on. We want to make sure that all your content is memorable. Jackson and I both used to work over at Zywave, and one thing that it taught us there was a lot of people will always sell on people, price, and service. And so it's really important to break out of those kind of 3 things to sell on. So if you're selling on that, if everyone's in your space is selling on the same thing, it's kind of hard to stand out and be memorable. So I wanted to do that a little bit. So kind of want to compare 2 different guys. Here is you know, the not so great example. Asher1977@gmail.com. Web designer, cheap prices, and best people. Over here a little bit different. You know, Asher@AsherPhotoandDesign.com. Personal branded website looks a little nicer. And you know, having some very specific, easy to digest bullet points are great for pitching your services. So I try to make something that was kind of along the same side, but you know, I do the photos and the website in one package. There's no agency overhead. You know, you're having the direct relationship with me, so it's able to keep your costs lower. And then, yeah, I want to make sure everything's mobile friendly and funny. Like I want to make sure that everything works well. So on the web design side, yeah, it just needs to look good. You know, it's really funny with how many websites there are out there, how many of them are not mobile friendly. We're doing everything on our phones nowadays. A lot of people will have, you know, you load up a website and the text is super tiny, and if you can't read it, you're not going to. Yeah, it's one of the biggest pet peeves out there. So just, you know, have everything be mobile responsive. And then if you can just get past that mobile friendly part, you can start to get into some of the more advanced stuff, like animations, transitions, a lot of cool things. So yeah, I kind of flew through that a little bit faster than 10 minutes. But yeah, that was my whole PowerPoint. I also wanted to throw out my website so you guys could take a look at it, you know, that. So, you know, in terms of the whole mobile responsiveness and everything, you know, meet your team here and everything. I have, you know, funny rollover images. So from your site when you're browsing it, you know, I have all these different guys here. And they tie in with my little bios. I'm a Milwaukee Master Gardener, so I took gardening classes for 5 months. I volunteered over at some of the Milwaukee public school districts, so taught gardening classes. So everything ties in, and when it comes to your website, you really just want to be able to stand out and have something that looks professional. And with how many websites there are out there, there's a lot that need touching up. So I'm excited to provide that service. And if you guys know anyone that needs to have a website that when you look at it, you're not, you know, hesitating on it, then let me know, because I would love to help in that field. So, oh, go ahead.
I just have a question, if that's okay.
Oh, sure.
Do you have specific websites you work with?
So I've been doing work with everybody. I've been working a lot with a lot of small restaurants and bars. But I've also been working with like a headphone manufacturer out in California that makes a $3,500 pair of headphones. It's more expensive than I'm used to, but yeah. So just really it all depends on what the market is. But
I guess my question is that we have a Wix website.
oh, it's just Wix website. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but we have a really, really cool graphic designer, so she
Sure.
designs it so it doesn't look like it's a Wix.
Sure.
In fact,
yeah,
it
yeah.
won't say.
You can do a lot of work with Wix.
I don't know
yeah.
if this is your pet peeve, but when people say it's a Wix website.
Oh yeah, powered by Wix at the bottom.
And
Yeah.
they don't take that out. Yeah, you took
Totally.
that out.
Yeah, yeah.
But do you work with that? Because some designers don't do Wix.
So so the industry standard is WordPress, and most everyone works through WordPress. It's a little bit more customizable than like a Wix or a Squarespace.
Yeah.
But depending on the website, I can totally hop in and work in a Wix environment.
Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
The one thing that's big with all websites that are out there is a lot of people will have their designer make them a site. The designer hands it to them, and then that's, you're kind of hands off and done, which is honestly a nightmare. One thing that I want to do is whenever I'm working with someone, I'm going to make sure that we have a kind of a tutorial lesson on how to go in and make those edits that you want to change on a regular basis. And then I'd also have, I'd be able to go in and change it for you. But Wix, Squarespace, WordPress, all of them are really good for allowing those small edits and changes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it depends on on the size too. If you want a lot more edits, it might be worth it going over Squarespace or Wix, or WordPress. But yeah, Wix is a great tool.
Because I know like sometimes we've had that problem where we wanted professional services and like you say, well, we just don't work with Wix.
Oh, sure.
So, and I think our website, I think looks good at the desktop, but then we made it mobile, which is okay.
Sure.
But it doesn't quite, work, so we,
Got it.
yeah.
Yeah,
So we might call you, I might call you.
Depending on, it might be worth it to switch over to WordPress, and then I could show you the ropes. You wouldn't be left alone out there. So
Sounds good.
yeah, be good. Sometimes you have to make the bump. So
Yeah.
yeah.
We only have a couple minutes. Any other
Oh,
questions?
sure.
I
Yeah.
have a
What questions?
question. Do you still write HTML code?
So I do some HTML and some CSS. It all depends on what the occasion is.
I need help creating a custom signature for my email.
Okay.
And it needs HTML code, and I'm like, no, that's just not
Oh,
in my
sure.
wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So you could help me with something like that, and I want it for my iPhone as well. I want it to transfer. I have Mac Mail.
Oh,
So
sure.
I want it to transfer from my Mac Mail to my iPhone. I hate replying to an email
Yeah.
from my iPhone because it says sent by iPhone.
Oh, sure.
So I wait till I get home so I could do it on, and I
Yeah.
have something that I used an online company for, but
Sure.
it doesn't, it's
It's
not
not
what
like
I
how
want.
you want it.
Yeah,
Sure.
I want it exactly how I want it, so we should talk.
Yeah, totally. Emails are a cool thing because a lot of people, what they do is they have one image at the bottom of their email signature.
Yeah, I don't want,
But
it,
people-
I don't
it's
want
not clickable.
attachments. I don't want
Yeah.
any attachments, I want it all embedded.
Right.
So I don't
yeah.
want people to have to see I've got 8 things attached to an email.
Totally.
So I
Right.
just want it all in code,
Sure.
and my Facebook link, and my LinkedIn link, and my,
Totally.
yeah.
Yeah, no, live and clickable are good.
And
You
you
were saying
can do-
earlier, having things. One of my biggest things is, the @gmailaddress.com or @yahooaddress.com. We should fix that right away. And then when it comes to email signatures, one thing a lot of people they do is they'll have a full photo, and then their telephone number will be part of that photo. So it's not a clickable link. So then you have to type in the email address and go back and forth. So a lot of small things like that can just really use picking up that you wouldn't notice that are
I think that really makes it when you have that nice professional.
totally, yeah, it's a big difference. Yeah. Any other, I love answering questions. Any
One
small
last
business
question? Anyone have
side
one last
questions?
question? Well, let me ask you this, Asher.
Sure.
What made you decide to form your own business?
So I was working with a lot of insurance brokers, and working on the marketing side and that side, and I found that there were a lot of that had websites that weren't so great, not up to date. And then as I just kind of hopped into it more and more, I was finding more websites that weren't optimal. And I really have a passion for photography and design. I love both of those two things. And there was just a huge market opportunity right there. And I love being able to help out small businesses. I like small businesses being able to thrive. I like more money being back in the community. And I can come in at rates that are really affordable for a small business. So they're getting the full kind of market, the full agency experience from one person. So I really like that a lot. It's really fun. And I like working with small businesses too. It's more fun, you know, working for yourself than it is for companies. Yeah, it's,
Sometimes.